And welcome back to Music Free Gaming. And I'm standing here in front of the chorus farm I worked on last time, like, oh, Jesus, a month ago now? But hey, life happens. And other things that have to happen is I have to smelt all of the chorus fruit that comes out of this farm if I want to use it. So that means I think I need to build a super smelter. Yeah, and I think it's going to go right back here, right behind me there. So let's get to it. Well, there we go. Furnace array has started. Sweet, we're done. No. So I think the plan is, well, maybe not stack them underneath, but I think the plan is to take maybe 20 furnaces and slide out on either side of this, right? So I've crafted 21 of them. Well, based off the center, I'm going to run these right across here, okay? Now, I've got a couple of interesting thoughts, something I want to try a little different this time. So we'll play with that, but we're going to start with this happy array of furnaces, and then we'll see what other fun we can get up to. So here's what I'm thinking, and I'm not entirely sure I know what I'm thinking. Okay, it's maybe it's a plot by some weird government to prevent me from doing what I might possibly maybe want to do. I don't know. I'm just, it's all the brainwashing. It's totally freaking me out. No, sorry, I don't have a helmet on anymore. The conspiracy waves are starting to get to me. I'm going on little insane. No, we're good. But no, what I thought I was going to do today is I've got hoppers on both sides of these barrels, okay? Now I'll run this down both sides once I get enough hoppers, but I think I want to run stuff along both sides. Now, obviously I'll still be bottlenecked by the one hopper into the furnace, and that's okay. Because I think what I might do is have two different feed systems. One for me to manually put stuff in and send it through, and one for automated stuff like the chorus fruit over here, right? That it can send stuff along that side too, or around the second line, right? Now, I gotta tell you, I have no clue what's going on. I am making this up as I go, but that's what makes this fun. Here is the beginning of the feed system for the manual portion of the smelter array. So we're going to have a minecart with chest here. It's just going to sit there fat, dumb, and happy until you press the button, which hits this lovely, lovely copper bulb. And I've got a comparator underneath here. Let me free cam just so we can see it. Got a copper bulb, feeds this block, lights this redstone, lights this block, which powers this rail. All the magic, really simple, okay? Now that, I could just leave on, right? Until the minecart comes back empty, right? And I can manually turn it off. It's like, oh, when it comes back, stop it. I want to add some more, right? But what's cool is I can trigger this by redstone. So if I were to put, say, a comparator or a, maybe not a comparator, but eventually a comparator. But if I were to put something like a detector rail that could see if the minecart was empty, and if it is empty, automatically turn this bulb off, then everything will just stop, and it shows that, yep, it's ready to take more stuff because it's not detecting anything else. I think this would be a really, really cool thing. So let's see if I can make that happen. Minecart detection is definitely weird, so who knows if I can make this work. Well, we have ourselves some of the jankiest redstone ever, but I think this is going to work. So the idea is we've got a copper bulb that's going to launch everything, right? With our minecart with chest. And over on this side, I've got this detector rail, which will power into this copper bulb that's being watched by an observer, and a redstone line down to a target block, which will also toggle that copper block. So here's the idea. If I were to load this up with something to smelt, okay? And we send this thing off. Now it's going to go off, drop everything back, and then into the smelter array and come back. But you see how it keeps bouncing back and forth? As long as it has stuff in it when it goes by, it will trigger that block, which fires off the observer here and basically keeps this bulb on and this powered rail lit when it needs to, okay? Now, it may pause there for a moment, but whatever. Now, let me throw the switch here for a minute. Let's assume now it's done smelting things, okay? So now the minecart is coming back empty. And now if it comes by, it doesn't trigger that bulb, which this was working just a moment ago. No. My attempts to keep this going while it has stuff in it have failed. I'll have to figure out a better way of doing that. But I really like doing the copper bulb. I may have to do something else. But for now, we'll just leave it manual. And the minecart will come up here, drop everything in these hoppers, and we are good to go. This side was comparatively easy. Okay? It's just a really basic deal. The chorus fruit's going to come in here. It'll fill this up till it hits about 46 or so chorus fruit. And then we'll race on down and fill each of these furnaces with a couple of chorus fruit to pop, which is great. And then it'll come back and pick up more. And if it doesn't have enough, well, it'll just hang out here until it gets more. So that's going to be lovely. So the only thing I have left to do, aside from actually getting the launch station on the manual side going, I have to build the bamboo farm. Now, some of you were probably screaming at me and saying, hey, you also need to be able to collect the stuff from the furnace. Yes, I totally forgot that I had to actually build a collection system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just set some hoppers here so that I've got a little bit of a buffer, right? So it's not waiting. Like if it was cooking chorus fruit, and then I've got stone coming in, the chorus fruit can go somewhere and let the stone do its thing while I'm waiting for a minecart to come by. Okay, now, it doesn't have to, but I want just this little bit of a buffer. It's not going to be a huge deal one way or another, but at least it'll avoid any sort of waste. And though that's also the reason why I liked using bamboo, because bamboo doesn't have waste in that way. You either can have 4 bamboo and can cook something, or you don't, and then it just doesn't cook. So, but, and when it's done cooking, it's not sitting there burning, waiting for more of something else. So, probably not a big deal, but at least this way stuff can continue to cook while it's waiting for the minecart to come back, because the drop-off system is going to be way over there. Okay? So, I think, yeah, let's go ahead and get this started. Well, after trying way too hard to get my setup working, I just went back to this generic setup where you can, throw a item in there and the thing will go. Now, I do have an override switch, which I'll show you as soon as that gets back. So with the override switch, I can throw stuff in there, and notice it's not going now. It won't go until I flip the switch, and then it'll go. Right, and so I'm just have a really simple, stupid little switch. And, of course, the leftovers of my really broken deal. But, hey, it works now, and I guess I'm okay with it. It's not fabulous, but at least it's not as shiny, but it'll do. And the output system is now done. I've got a little minecart unloading station up there, and that feeds into this side is item sorters. This side is not. So right now, the only thing I'm sorting is popped chorus fruit into this chest. Everything else will end up over here. These guys aren't even connected to the hopper line yet. So if I decide I do need to sort something, or I want to have something sorted in here, I am good to go. And at this point, it's all done but the fuel. And I think that's going to be a problem for future me. And if you have problems for future you, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and all that good stuff. And until next time, be excellent to each other. And this is Music Free Gaming, signing off.